The legal battle between HYBE and NewJeans has captured the attention of everyone for months. During its start, most people were overwhelmingly on the side of NewJeans. They were seen as a bunch of innocent teenagers mistreated and pushed around by a big corporation and naturally had the support of most people. But as the conflict went on, more and more people started to stop supporting NewJeans and even switched sides, labeling them as a bunch of ungrateful and spoiled mean girls. So where did they go wrong? How did the popular opinion about them shifted from positive to negative within the span of a few months? This is what we'll be talking about in today's video. But before we begin, here's a small disclaimer that I do not bear any ill will towards the girls. Contrary to what others would say, no, I don't want these young girls to be blacklisted from the industry forever or be indebted to HYBE. I am a firm defender of artistic freedom and wholeheartedly believe that K-pop companies should not hold such power over their idols that they can stop them from leaving. If an artist wants to leave, they should be allowed to leave. This video is not about hating on the girls, but just pointing out the mistakes they made during this legal battle with HYBE and how things could have gone differently if they had made some smart choices. Now that the disclaimer is out of the way, let's begin with this video. This is the most obvious reason why many people don't like NewJeans anymore. These girls are so fiercely loyal to Min Heejin that it's almost weird. They have literally called her an inseparable part of NewJeans, showed public support towards her multiple times, and the craziest part is they risked their entire career for her. This whole battle between HYBE and NewJeans started because of their loyalty to Min Heejin. I've actually made a detailed video about how the feud between HYBE and NewJeans started because of Min Heejin. If they had just kept quiet while HYBE got rid of Min Heejin, they would have been totally fine and still have a thriving career. And I know a lot of people will say, oh, but HYBE was planning to replace them with Illit. There is not a single convincing evidence that HYBE was ever going to do that. And these are not my words. The court said this. They ruled in favor of HYBE, clearly stating that there is not enough evidence suggesting that Illit copied NewJeans or that HYBE planned to sabotage NewJeans. So NewJeans could have actually avoided all this trouble if they were just not so loyal towards Min Heejin. Yes, she did have a big hand in the branding and success of NewJeans, but that doesn't mean they need to throw their career away for her. Their close relationship with Min Heejin is also an essential reason on why the public opinion about them changed so fast. Min Heejin already had a problematic past with a few scandals, but when the dispute between her and HYBE first broke out, most people saw her as a victim. She was seen as this helpless employee who was getting attacked by higher members of the corporation. So public opinion about her was very positive, which also translated to most people supporting NewJeans. But as the battle went on, many serious accusations about Min Heejin started to come out. The most recent one was her being fined by the Labor Office for workplace harassment. The public opinion obviously soured and most people started disliking her, and this also became a dislike for NewJeans. I consider it to be the biggest mistake of NewJeans because by associating themselves with Min Heejin so much and making her the face of their fight against HYBE, they made sure that all the hate towards Min Heejin also translates as hate towards them and makes their reasoning for trying to leave HYBE seem very disingenuous. On the 28th of November 2024, the members of NewJeans held a press conference in which they said that their contract with Ador was terminated and they were essentially independent. Months later, they announced that their new name would be NJZ. They even did some advertising contracts and announced a ComplexCon performance under this new name. But here's the thing, the contract with HYBE was not actually terminated and they were still legally under Ador. Just doing a press conference and announcing that your contract is over doesn't actually end the contract. There's a legal process which NewJeans had not gone through. I consider to be one of the stupidest mistakes of NewJeans because they literally gave Ador and HYBE a weapon to use against them, and the company obviously used it. On the 13th of January 2025, Ador filed for an injunction asking the court to stop NewJeans from independently signing commercial deals. The court ruled in favor of Ador since NewJeans were still legally and contractually under Ador. They would not be allowed to use the name NJZ anymore for official activities, and the court also forbade them from doing any independent activities. So NewJeans not only lost a court hearing because of this mistake, but they also gave a huge advantage to HYBE and Ador for all the upcoming injunctions. Anytime there's a court hearing in the future, Ador will just pull up the receipts of how irresponsibly NewJeans acted and essentially violated their contract. Their reputation also took a huge hit as many netizens saw them announcing their contract termination as dishonest and deceptive. They should have never acted in this way, trying to be all independent while still legally being under contract. It not only gave HYBE and Ador ammunition to use against them, but the court injunction, which is a direct result of them violating their contracts, revealed a much bigger flaw of the NewJeans case, which is my next point. If you think that things went really bad for NewJeans during the court injunction, it's actually much worse. See, before the court came to a decision, they asked the legal representatives of Ador and the legal representatives of NewJeans to provide arguments of why they should win the injunction. And while the lawyers of HYBE were well prepared and provided the very reasonable evidences of NewJeans violating their contracts, the lawyers of NewJeans were horribly underprepared and lacked any real evidence. The entire case of NewJeans trying to leave HYBE was based on the accusation that the company was mistreating them. But when the court asked them to provide any proof of mistreatment, they were unable to put out a single convincing evidence. They cited the infamous incident where the manager of Illit allegedly asked them to ignore Hanni, but they were not able to provide any proof of the incident, while HYBE provided a CCTV footage of the members bowing to Hanni. HYBE even leaked Kakao Talk messages between Min Heejin and Hanni, when Min Heejin was seen influencing Hanni into making a big deal out of that incident. The lawyers of NewJeans also brought up the accusation of Illit copying NewJeans, but the court deemed it irrelevant due to lack of valid proofs. Another point from the side of NewJeans was how HYBE favored sserafim over them, but as usual, their side didn't have any convincing evidence. This lack of any evidence or proper preparation from the side of NewJeans made them look very immature and unprofessional, and HYBE made things even worse for them by countering every one of their arguments with receipts. What made this even worse was that the members of NewJeans attended this court hearing even though they didn't need to. This brought much more attention to how unprepared the legal representatives of NewJeans were. This is where their public reputation was majorly ruined. So many people were calling them liars and making fun of how HYBE allegedly exposed them. The lack of evidences for all the accusations they threw out made K-pop fans very angry as well, especially the fans of Illit and sserafim, as these two groups faced a ton of hate because of the accusations, and we all know how brutal angry K-pop stans are. Many went online and expressed their anger on how ungrateful NewJeans are for claiming that they were mistreated while being ambassadors for luxury brands and collaborating with big names like Coca-Cola and Calvin Klein. Thanks to the connections of HYBE, Hanni received a lot of hate as well, with people calling her a liar and a bully. All in all, this court injunction was a huge disaster for NewJeans. A few days after the court injunction, it was revealed that NewJeans were in close contact with a fan called Talytokki, and by close, I mean very close. They have taken pictures with her, exchanged messages with her, and even sent gifts to her. Now why is this a mistake, you might ask? Well, that is because Talytokki is a problematic person, to say the least. This person has doxed people, spread negativity about sserafim and Illit, and even took part in the uncalled harassment of Suga over the overblown scooter incident. And NewJeans being close with such a problematic person was another one of their big mistakes. The fans of Illit, sserafim and BTS were obviously very angered, and the remaining fans of this group who were neutral or supporting NewJeans quickly turned against them. As usual, Twitter and Reddit were full of people criticizing NewJeans for being close to a person who defamed so many K-pop groups. Either they forgot to check the background of the Talytokki girl, or they did check and didn't care about it, which is actually much worse if it's true. Either way, it was a huge mistake which hurt their reputation even more. All these mistakes, one after the other, has irreparably damaged the reputation of NewJeans, and the majority of the public opinion on them right now is very bad. The future looks bleak, and with HYBE holding all advantages for now, no one can tell what the future holds for them. They still have quite a supportive fan base, and if they make it out of HYBE, or HYBE doesn't put them on hold infinitely, they might still have a fairly good career. And well, that's it for this video, guys. I'll try to keep you guys updated if anything significant happens, and yeah, take care and stay healthy.